Every day, almost every one of us relies on a 2-ton piece of metal to take us places. Work, school, the grocery store, and there are only 4 things keeping us off the ground. Sometimes we take our tires for granted, but regardless of the conditions, they can be the difference between a smooth ride to work or ending up in a ditch, which could mean life and death. 48% of teens do not inspect their tires monthly. 12% of teen accidents involve tire-related issues. 12% of vehicles have at least one tire underinflated by 25% or more. 27% of teens have reported that they've never checked the condition of their tires before.
Majority of the time, tires are involved with crashes when the vehicle's in motion and a defect of the tire causes failure. And in many cases, it speeds at 40, 50, 60 miles per hour, and sometimes out here on the interstate as high as 70 miles per hour. If a tire fails at that speed, it increases the amount of error for that wheel. And if it's a steering tire, it can pull you either right or left. And that poses a big hazard.
A lot of people, I think, take the tires for granted. Tires are very expensive, or they can be very expensive to replace. So a lot of people run their tires as long as they possibly can, beyond kind of where the tread wear indicators are, which is very dangerous in bad weather situations like rain, snow, or ice. Yeah, I think probably new teen drivers, as well as older, more experienced drivers, don't worry about tire safety until they have a problem. They don't think about the tread getting thin on the tire, where the tread's starting to go away, until they start either getting into anti-lock brakes or sliding around a little bit in the rain.
So I got home and I took a shower. I think I ate some cereal and I went to sleep. The next morning I had work, so I wake up and get my work clothes on, and my mom tells me, be safe. It had been raining for the last 24 hours prior to my accident, and so I was driving and I was on my way to work. I started losing traction in my rear wheels, and I hydroplaned and started going sideways 65 miles per hour into a guardrail, and it flipped the car 3 times back onto its wheels, and it just coasted down into the ditch. I broke my jaw on it because it threw me sideways, and I broke my temporal bone above my ear. From what I learned when I became conscious in the hospital, they cut off all my clothes, and I was hooked up to IVs and stuff, and they were pulling little bits and pieces of glass and metal out of my face and stuff. And my left lung had collapsed from hitting the guardrail so hard, so they also had to pump air into my lungs, so I had a tube down my throat. I never thought my tires would put me in the hospital. That was definitely a problem for me. If I had better tires, this wouldn't have happened.